I used to be on top of the world, brother. All-pro quarterback 4 years running. Voted the sexiest Texan in 2004. Yeah, man, I beat out Dennis Quaid and Matthew McConaughey, for Christ's sake. Yeah, so I drank a few beers now and then, popped the occasional pill. That's nothing compared to what the team quacks you shoot me up with just so I could play. And sometimes I just need to numb the pain, you know what I'm saying? My biggest vice was speed. No, not meth, buddy, adrenaline. I blew every penny I had on the fastest cars I could find. Just so you know, I'm a damn good driver. If that asshole I was street racing hadn't sideswiped me, I never would have crashed. That poor girl would still be alive. That's right. That's right, it's his goddamn fault I shattered my leg in 6 goddamn places. So I had a few drinks in me, so what the fuck? I drive drunk better than I do sober anyway. Of course, couldn't play worth shit after that. After I got out of jail, they canned my ass, said I violated the morals clause in my goddamn contract. Ended up playing semi-pro in fucking Canada. But I'm still a name. Oh yeah, I'm still a celebrity. That's why they wanted me to promote their blood drive here. That's why they fucking flew me, first class, halfway around the goddamn world. Because my name still means something. Logan Carter is no goddamn douchebag. I always thought I wasn't worth a damn. Even when I made all-pro quarterback. Even at the top of my game, leading my team to the championship, deep down I didn't think I deserved any of it. That everything had come crashing down. And damn it if I wasn't right. But did I learn from that? Did I change who I was? Hell no. I just enjoyed wallowing in my own goddamn misery. Yeah, boo-hoo, right? Well, I'm done with that. Seeing the whole world go to hell puts your own goddamn problems in perspective a little bit. I would have died at the Royal Palms for sure if good people didn't put their lives on the line for me. Not to mention what happened in Moresby in that goddamn jungle. I've seen some sick and horrible things, brother. But I've also seen people sacrifice everything for some poor soul they hardly know. When you're saving some terrified son of a bitch's ass, you don't have time to wallow in self-pity. There's a lesson there. Shit, I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'm not that fucking smart. But I do know one thing, man. Logan Carter ain't as big a douchebag as everybody thought he was.
I hate rich assholes, which is fucking ironic, since I'm expected to put my bloody life on the line for them. That's what they pay me for, this pricey hotel here. To be a bodyguard for the rich and famous fuckwits who come to Benoi to blow their money. I used to be a cop, a bloody good one. A vice detective in Sydney. You know how many female half-Aborigine detectives there were before me? None. You think it was easy? Suffering the abuse of my so-called colleagues. Half of them hated me because I was a girl, and the other half didn't like the fact that my mum was a Koori. So I came up the hard way. I busted my ass. It took me 12 years to make detective, and that still wasn't enough. It's an old boys club, you know? The whole justice system is a fucking joke. Teenage drug addicts get put away forever, and old white wankers who steal fucking millions get away scot-free. One rich bugger I investigated was clearly molesting his 14-year-old daughter. But he had too much pull with the politicians, so I couldn't touch him. After the girl killed herself, I confronted him, but he just laughed at me. He pulled out a pistol and told me he could blow my bleeding head off and no one would care. Because I was nothing. A nobody. An abo bitch. So I fucking took his gun away and shot the bastard. It was self-defense, but I still got sacked. 12 bloody years down the drain. Worst part is, I didn't even kill the son of a bitch. I just gelded him. One day, I'm gonna have to go back and finish the job. If someone has money, if they have power, They can pretend to be as pious as hell, and no one will ever suspect how evil they are. I learnt that firsthand working as a vice detective in Sydney. You know how many female half-Aborigine detectives there were before me? None. Yeah, you think it was easy. Suffering the abuse of my so-called colleagues. Half of them hated me because I was a girl, and the other half didn't like the fact that my mum was a Koori. But when it's the end of the bloody world, no one gives a shit who you are or how big your bank account is. I saw it in the resort as the infection spread, and the rich, they died just as quick as the poor. And in Moresby, where the powers that be blew the bridges and trapped the less fortunate in the worst of it. But in the end, it didn't save any of them. When all the lies are stripped away, and the only thing between them and the bloody end is me, suddenly Perna is their best friend. Well, bugger them. I'm not here for them. I'm here for the ones who can't protect themselves. Anyone who lives in fear. I will protect them, and I will die for them. Because I was one of them.
My father was a very great man, a chief inspector for the Hong Kong police. Even though he died when I was 10, I remember him very well. He was killed by an enforcer for the Wo Xing Wo triad, and I told myself then that I would follow in his footsteps and honor his memory. He taught me martial arts, and I continued to practice after he was gone. After finishing at the top of my university class, I joined the Hong Kong police and was chosen as part of the first all-female anti-organized crime squad. I worked hard. I did my best. But the men in charge never intended to put us on the front lines. They didn't train us the way they promised they would. They didn't believe any of us women were up to the task. We were only for show. Instead, my superiors sent me here, to this resort, to this front desk, to be an informer, to spy on wealthy Westerners. My father would not be proud of me. This work dishonors his memory. But I will do as they ask, for I am a patriot. But I know I am capable of much, much more. I just need the opportunity to prove myself. My father was a chief inspector for the Hong Kong police. He died when I was 10, and I told myself then that I would follow in his footsteps. I joined the force after graduating at the top of my class, but the men in charge never intended for me to be a real police officer. They didn't believe women were up to the task. But now, no one can deny who I am, what I've done, what I'm capable of. I thought I needed to prove my worth to my superiors. But now I know they are not and never were my superiors. It doesn't matter what they believe. It matters what I believe. And I know there is more to this tragedy than meets the eye. This infection, this plague is human-born. This is not nature correcting itself. This is mankind destroying itself. I saw how it swept the resort and reduced Moresby to bloody chaos. I don't know where it came from, but I do know that there are those in this world who would sacrifice millions to make billions. They operate unmolested with the approval of those who are supposed to protect us. In the end, I will expose them for the monsters they are. For I am Xian Mei, and I will honor my father's memory.
I grew up in New Orleans, lower Ninth Ward. My daddy went to prison when I was 2. That's where he died, Angola. Mama didn't ever recover from there. Just drank and did crack. than any random motherfucker who didn't smack her around too bad. My nana the one who raised me. She run the washateria. We lived in a little shotgun house on Burgundy. From the time I was 10, man, I want to rap. I was into old school freestyle rap. And I'd be kicking ass at them battles, bro. But man, just couldn't catch a break. Nothing caught on. So, one Halloween, I come up with "Who Do You Voodoo, Bitch?" Just as a motherfucking joke, you know? Went right to the top of the hip-hop charts like a motherfucking rocket. And suddenly, I was famous. Going to the Grammys, hitting the parties. Man, I had bitches up to yin yang. And for the first time in my life, I was making money. Shit. I was spending it as quick as I was getting it. I thought I'd made it, you know what I'm saying? That gravy train wasn't never gonna end. So I did another song, and another song, and nothing hit. Nothing fucking hit. Song after song, and ain't nobody give a shit. Been 10 years, man. Yeah, I can still get gigs, but all they want me to do is, "Who do you voodoo, bitch?" Shit. I used to play the big casinos in Vegas or Atlantic City. Now it's just Reno or Laughlin. Some motherfucking cruise ship. So this gig here might be my last chance. I mean, there's some heavy Hollywood hitters up in there. If I could notice, yeah, I could be right back up on top there. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up in New Orleans, all I ever wanted to do was rap. But man, I couldn't catch a break until "Who Do You Voodoo?" It was supposed to be a joke, but all of a sudden I was rich as shit. I had everything I ever wanted, man. Everything. Except respect. Nobody thought I was the real deal. Just some no-talent one-hit wonder. And hell, if I didn't start believing them, it's no surprise I'd never another hit after that. I ain't nothing to say. Well, you know what? I got something to say now. Didn't think I'd ever see anything as sad as Katrina. But this plague, what happened at the Royal Palms, what happened in Moresby, it's something out of goddamn horror movie, man. The dead are rising up against the living like it's the end of days, and maybe it is, but I gotta say, people do amazing shit when they up against it. The ones you think gon' stand their ground, they fucking run. And the quiet ones, the ones you don't even notice, man, they don't give an inch. They'll give up everything for somebody they don't even know. There's a song there somewhere. Shit. I don't even know if I'm gonna still be standing when all is said and done. But if I am, believe me, Sam B got something to say.
My grandfather fought the Japanese here in World War II and never left. Married a local girl. My father was native born and a sergeant major, so I'm second generation military. And from the time I was 10, I wanted to follow in their footsteps. I wanted to be a soldier and protect and defend this country against all enemies. Well, I did my job. Did what I was told. Always followed orders. Until the day they gave me an order I couldn't follow. You see, it's hard to describe how it feels when everything you believe in turns out to be a lie. When the people you trusted let the ones you love die. And none of my commanders were born here. None of them knew the land and the people who lived here. None of them had to sacrifice anything. So they made others sacrifice what was dearest to them. I still can't believe I was the only one to say no, but I was the only one. I was accused of desertion and treason, and for that I was to spend the rest of my life in prison, simply for helping those I'd sworn to protect. Well, now I know who the real enemy is. And this fight is not over. I swore an oath. And as far as I'm concerned, John Morgan is still a soldier.